I spent years and years scoring film and TV before I did my first score for video game. And now I've done dozens of them. And people have asked me, well, is there really a difference? And the answer is yes. There is a difference between the video game world and the film and television world. Aesthetically, there isn't a huge difference. Everybody's just looking for great music, and every project you work for has something in mind, and if they can communicate that with you, then you can go ahead and write. With video games, there's another level of technology that makes the music interact with the gameplay. So you need to become at least passably familiar with how music gets embedded in the game, such that as the player is playing, if things get more dangerous, the music seems to get more dangerous. And that's done through working in stems, working through what's called middleware, which is the technology embedded in the game that makes your music change. There's a lot of great resources online about video game scoring. Good music is good music. Scoring a film, if the music is right, the music is right. Scoring a game, if the music is right, the music is right. There's some subtle differences in the aesthetics, in how melodies come in and out. Composing on games, the melodies tend to be a little more omnipresent because you can thin things out, but you can't add them if they weren't there. So it's really understanding how music is broken down into layers and elements, and each one of those elements and layers, or stems, becomes a musical element, not just a mixing element, which is what it would be in film and television. So understanding a few of those subtle differences will make you highly ready to be scoring games if you're making a transition from film and TV into games, or if your goal is to be a game composer. Let's talk about samples for a second. Regardless of whether you're working on a project that will be recorded with live musicians or not, you are going to be asked to submit demos that have to sound brilliant. If you're creating orchestral music, if you're doing an orchestral score, then you have to write demos that are as convincing as possible. Now, it's mostly important that your music is great music, but understanding what an orchestra sounds like is incredibly important. Listen to great scores and ask yourself, what is that balance? How loud is a solo trumpet against a full string section? How loud is a bass drum or a timpani when the whole orchestra is playing, or just the brass? Really understanding the blend and balance of instruments in the orchestra is one of the most important guides to creating good in-the-box demos of orchestral music done with samples. Also, you're going to have to invest in a good library of good samples. Fortunately, the options out there are amazing and get better all the time. Having an entire library of strings, winds, brass, percussion, everything from one library is actually a pretty good idea, because they're probably all recorded in the same room. They will match, they will mesh, they will blend, and that's an incredibly good thing. It makes your job quite a bit easier when it comes time to mixing. But you will be automating, you will be adding effects, you will be enhancing and producing the mix, even though the end result is to sound organically like a live orchestra. Get to know your samples, use them, layer them, work with them very carefully, and really close your eyes at the end of that and just ask yourself, is this convincing me that this sounds as close to a real orchestra as I can get it? Give it a shot. Demos are who you are as a composer to those people who don't know you. Putting together a no holds barred, no excuses demo is critical. And the best place to put that demo is online. Put it on your social media, get a SoundCloud account, get any number of places where you can place your music and let people listen to it, so that you can send somebody a link, post a link in your social media, and people with one click can just start listening to your music. And make sure that every track is really a shining example of what your music sounds like, so that within a few seconds, people really go, now I know what they're good at. Don't try to be good at everything. Try to create a demo where you don't have any two things that are so similar it doesn't matter. Pick your tracks really carefully, curate your list, keep it short. Don't have long introductions. If you need to make some edits, because people have very short attention spans or have very little time, and in a few seconds they're going to summarize who you are in those first few tracks. So get your demo going, get your demo online, There are tools for getting it mastered you could do yourself, and make sure that people really can hear what it means when you say you're a composer. Let me know what you think. Leave a comment below with your opinion, your thoughts, your questions. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Subscribe if you can, follow, and I look forward to it.